Hey guys. How's it funny?
Very well on yourself. Good afternoon, all.
Good afternoon, Goeiemiddag.
Abonan. Sorry, I missed this morning. Duty called.
Oh God, I'm so sorry you missed as well. It was so action-packed, you would not believe it. You missed so much. No, I'm only kidding. Not much happened actually. It was quite a quiet one. If you're going to choose to miss one, that's probably the one to choose. So that's not a problem, as it turned out.
So 2013 is on my side. Excellent.
Yeah. I have to be honest, didn't miss much. Went through a few things which I think you already know. Just we went to this, couldn't really find a trade for 4 o'clock shows just coming up. You know, Jerome Powell speaking. So we went over stuff for newer guys and tried to, the stuff you already know, but just the other guys are learning on. So yeah, we try to make use of it as best we could. But from a trading point of view, I have to say he didn't miss much. In fact, didn't miss anything, except to say that the trades we got out were doing okay. And that's amazing.
Yeah. No, I'm glad. I was just wondering. I put a buy limit in on CHF JPY, and it just didn't reach the entry point.
Yeah, that's disappointing. I hope it's going to pull back. It threatened to, and it did actually, but it was about, I think it was about 2 o'clock in the morning, and you probably heard me snoring at the time, so I was fast asleep, so I missed that. Up and about, I hope it's going to pull back, but it didn't. Yeah. So that trade, I was a bit pissed off myself, to be honest, because it's a bit of a pity that I missed it. I hope the GBP CHF would go up a bit more. Just looking for a trade there, but for sell that is, but it didn't reach any heights I want to get in. It might be doing at the moment, so at about 20 at the moment. I was hoping to get about 40. I might even sell for 35 myself, but we'll see anyway. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Now, Powell's, you know, I just want to clarify, guys. It's not quite 4. There's not many people in yet. But anyway, I'll probably repeat it just now. It's not a release of a specific figures, data, which you have an instant reaction to. It's a chat. He's speaking basically, and he'll do a bit Q&A. Question of how long will it last? No idea. Probably about an hour, maybe a little bit longer, maybe longer. Depends what he's got to go through, etc. I obviously won't be listening to because I'm here in the trading room. But those who are not and want to in the future, it'll be on whatchamacallit, on Bloomberg. A couple of other places do it as well. I forget which. Quite a few will have it on the radio and YouTube and things like that. But yeah, definitely on Bloomberg. But we'll see. You just started, well, starting about now. I'll be jumping around a bit as the question answers come. So I would suggest we can keep an eye on it, discuss stuff, go through trades you've already got out, do stuff like that, keep an eye on what's happening. But I expect it should be a bit of jumping around as he says one thing and then another and the question answer, that sort of thing. So just want to bear that in mind. It's not an interest rate announcement or a specific release of data. It's a Q&A, so it might get some time to go around. So this is where you do not do much trading, in my opinion, and just hope the trade you're in work out for you. Protect yourself in case it goes haywire. If you're in trades at the moment, you don't see great profits turn to great loss, obviously. Anyway, good afternoon, guys. 4 o'clock. Just a few more guys in. He started and it's already jumped around a little bit just because he's probably said, hi guys, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's already jumped about 15 pips, about the most it's done the last couple of hours. Nice to have that kind of power, eh? Eugene's coming. He's going to be happy with me. Oh, God. Hello, Eugene. You're probably not happy with me. I didn't say get out of that Nasdaq. I said keep an eye on it and be wary. It's like it's going up. And I think you got out of it and it came screaming down. You made a nice profit. Yeah, I just want to cover that now, Eugene said. I might say keep an eye on something. It's not looking pretty at the moment. It doesn't mean get out of it. This means be aware of it. Maybe I shouldn't have said the WhatsApp in the end. I won't give a get out now or get in now. I can't do that, especially not a get out now because anything can happen. And it turned out to recover. So sorry about that, Eugene, because the next thing I got, oh my goodness, you exited the trade. So sorry about that. It turned out a bit of a winner in the end. But yeah, so just remember, guys, I won't say get out of that trade because I can't tell you. This will go to 107.45 and then get out because that's where it's going to go to. Yeah, I don't know that. But if it's starting to get a bit unwieldy, the dollar's still falling, which is good for the NAS. I thought keep an eye on it. It might go up further. And then, well, anyway, so turned out it went up and then it all came off. And turned out it's actually a winning trade in the end. It's pretty like that. So my apologies, Eugene, but just remember, don't ask me, should I get out now? I can't make that. I say modify, stop, or something like that. But to exit, I can't. Nobody can give you an exact way to get in and out. It's impossible. Okay, just so no going forward. I feel a bit bad about that. Well, I'm glad you said that. Thanks. You feel a bit bad. Just about 5 minutes after you got out there, the thing came off. Oh shit, he's not gonna be happy with me. Sorry about that. Okay, right, moving along. While he doing a little chit chat, little chit chat, major chit chat, we'll have a look at stuff we haven't got out. Start off in alphabetical order: A, U, D, C, H, F. It's popping out, not doing too badly. It came right the way down to this 34 is not bad. Now it's popped up again. He might be dancing around, but I think most of you modified your stop to entry anyway. So if it goes haywire, you won't make anything. You won't lose much out. Depends where you put the stop. At least you should be protected on that trade. But it'd be nice if you can get a decent run. If you get a decent run, maybe make a nice profit. If not, at least you're protected. Because as I say, the trouble is a lot of us are taking profits far too quickly and holding on to the downside. So every time you lose, you're losing 100. And every time you win, you're making a 10 or 15, which means you've got to win about 5 or 6 trades to make up for the one you lose on. And it should actually be the other way around. So we'll try and see if we can get something out of it. If it disappoints, we got in the trading about 400. So it's way below that. So even if you got it at 90 as a stop loss, it costs maybe a couple of bucks in it if something goes pear-shaped. But I'm hoping it's not going to get there. I'm hoping it's going to get worse. Well, worse AUD, that is, and the profit down. You take out 63 and downwards, you might get a decent run out of this. We've got a TP at 62.80, I think it is. We can learn writing here. 62.80, yeah. So, yeah, we might get TP, yeah. So it's jumping around a bit. Pick the mark to do just that. So I doubt we can get any particular thing here, a trade at the moment. Just might settle down in half an hour, it might not, I don't know. But just be aware that should be of interest to see the jumping around. 4:30, the American market's open, so they're probably even more exacerbated jumping around, including shares and everything. So we'll see. As I said, it's nice to have that kind of power. He says the wrong thing the wrong time. Ginad will wipe a couple of $1 trillion off the world markets. Eh? Not that's now that's power. Hey, so everyone talks about the president and these guys. Forget it, mate. That's the guy. That's the man. He's got. It's all about money anyway. So that's the serious power. Okay, great. What else do we do? GBPCHF. Some guys took it. They're in a profit. I don't care in the profit. I want it to go against it now, so go up, so I can get in a nice trade for everybody. But even if it does go up, it's nice to come back off again now. Even if it does go up to 30-40 at the moment, I'm a bit hesitant to go in any trade at the moment. It's a bit nerve-wracking when he's talking. I remember years ago, it was Greenspan, his name was, and he used to Alan Greenspan, remember him? That's way back, and a lot of guys said when he was speaking, nobody traded, that sort of thing. Okay, well, somebody's trading because it's going up and down, buying and selling. We shall see. Okay, Ford opens up as 4. We were at 12.7, that's where it is at the moment. The NAS, 11,225. A bit of profit, I'll jump around. Brent, I wasn't for it. A couple of guys liked it, so I put it down. But I, for the record, didn't like it. So I was wrong, fair enough. I might still be wrong. 81 they got in at, 80 hovering around, jumped a little bit lately. I want to get it around about 78 as a buy. Hasn't reached that, so it's sort of hanging around. And then Tembi went in at 141.66 from the Euro JPY. What's that doing now? Euro JPY. It's about break even. So not really losing, not much happening there. Now that was up, now it's come off. So yeah, those are two the other guys led, and the ones I came out with. Ones are even, and oh yeah, the FTSE, is that in profit or I think it's breaking even last I looked. Where's the FTSE? Here we are. It's just about even Steven now. So FTSE even Steven, F-stock even Steven, NAS, GBP CHF, and clearly the AUD CHF are in profit. So it's not exactly a disaster. Okay. Right. Let's see. Just start this speech. I might get stuff flashing across the screen just now if you make some statement. We could probably do some introduction and go over stuff. So let him do his thing. Right. Gold, I said we wouldn't do a buy, but we'd be careful in case the something goes bad. It's been hovering as a result. Now it's jumping around. So be careful of gold. It has been jumping around already. Look at that. It's in 8 minutes already jumped $4, you know, which is, well, a lot in 8 minutes compared to what's done before, put it that way. So it just shows, keep an eye on these sort of things happen. It does just, the markets are very, very nervous. Okay, so markets live all of a sudden. Yeah, that's just what I've been talking about, yeah. Does anyone not know what I've been talking about? Am I going too quickly? Statements made like that, I've been speaking, not everyone's understood. Are you all with me? Now, I'll start again, make sure you are with me. The chairman of the US Federal Reserve is a guy called Jerome Powell, and he started at 4 o'clock. That's why I say this morning, and particularly at the moment he's speaking, it's not a release of data, he's speaking, markets hang on to every syllable, never any word. Good morning, the markets jump. Good after, yeah, good morning where he is, the markets will jump. Ladies and gentlemen, it'll jump again. I'm exaggerating, but you know what I'm trying to say. So be careful, it's jumping around. Look at that gold, very much affected. And he's only 9 minutes into his speech and it's jumping around. So that's to say, don't, you know, I mean, I can't really clear that. Don't do it. You know, just, yeah. I hope you're all with me, yeah. Just tend to prate away and suddenly find that I'm going too quick or it's not being understood. Got to understand, I've been doing this for a while, so I forget not everyone has. You go waffling away. So I'm not too bad on jargon. We've got a lot of the habit of that. But a lot of these guys are going to jargon. What the hell's he on about? This could release the long-term yield curve and go into negative. Oh, is that right? Okay. You know, thanks very much. Good to know. I tried taking my speak out, but I do get carried away sometimes, especially if market moves. I have to be fairly quick because you don't want to miss a trade. And things are going action-packed and you've got to be on it. Okay, right. Not much we can do to see jumping around a bit. So, any questions? We can discuss stuff. I'm pretty damn sure, other than exiting a trade, you won't be entering right now. Clearly, for the reasons I've just basically spelled out to you. And I think, you know, so anything you want to discuss in the meantime? Anything you're not sure about? It might be the first time you heard about all this. And you wonder what the heck's going on. Let's have an open forum, discuss. This is, we can use this time usefully. By just asking these questions. Some guys know, well, fair enough. You started sometime. Let the other guys get an idea. Yeah, just jumping around. It will be. Okay, did my little piece there. Normal, sorry guys. 10 words and one will do, no doubt. But yeah. So, any questions that you want to ask? Anything you want to look at for going forward or understand or whatever. Try and answer a few questions and use this time with you wait with jumping around, particularly up before opening. Maybe we'll try and make some use of it. Major things, of course, the trades aren't doing too badly after I looked anyway. They want to mention couple of new guys there. The Schumer there. Henry just started. Gubbs have been a while, I think. Coney just getting to learn. Quasi, I think it's fairly new. Anything you want to ask on that? Multupsy, if you want to ask any questions. Some guys might have been on the WhatsApp earlier on to me. And just remember, I speak to a lot of guys, so just remind me. You said you go over something, remind me what it is, and I will certainly go. This is a good time to do it. Look at energy companies, as in like petroleum companies, like I don't know, Oxy or something like that. You mean? Not really, no. To be honest, I think the Saudis are talking at the moment, but I think it's not really about the Saudis or oil and energy. It's about the way forward. You get, like I mentioned, you get something called a beige book with all the information like PPI, CPI, PMI, inflation, GDP, all that stuff. And they'll have a sit down with all these so-called experts. Well, they are experts, no one's being cynical about it. And then they'll put together some sort of idea what to come up with when he starts to speak. And then you got these guys who are obviously financial, columnists, journalists, and obviously will have degrees in economic degrees or whatever. And they'll fire some questions and he'll answer them. And then, we'll take it from there. Money down means going down, which you want. No, it's not. It's popped up. Now's the time to scalp. No, it's not a good time to scalp at all. Unless you're in and out in a second with no costs. I don't think it's a good time at all. Jump around, you know what's going on. No, I don't. I think the best thing is not to do anything. No, I'm not bad man. I know you're asking. I'm bad man, so that's what I want you to do. That's brilliant. No, but yeah, no, the AED is just hovering around. It's in profit, but it's not sort of taking out this area here. I'm hoping it's going to do that. So I think it's battling to do that. If you get down there, where's our TP? It's 6280 somewhere around here. You get down there and get the TP. So yeah, it's popped up. It's down at 35. Now it's gone up 20 bits, but it's popping around. We're in profit. That's the bottom line. Don't even think I'll ask you advice. Where do you think it's going from now? You might also be standard. I haven't got a cooking clue. Nobody has. Nobody has a clue. But I'll be jumping around. Yeah. Okay. Any clarifications, guys? Anything you want battling with? You've all got the calculator, normal things, specification. You know how to save your charts. You know how to set them up. You can do that if you like. Go down there, go to properties, right click, go to properties, and you set the charts up exactly how you like. Quite simple. And that gives you an example. If you like the look of it, you give it an OK. And then, then you right click, go to templates and save it. Yeah. And then, bang in whatever name you want to put in there, save it, and away you go. So if you do have a problem, just right click, go to templates, go down the one you saved, and click on it, and away you go. You're up and running. Try and keep it not too cluttered. If you're very experienced, you know what your clutter is, and you've been doing it for a while, and you're happy with all those, that's fantastic. If you're new, the last thing you want to look at is a cluttered chart, and you want to know what's going on. You want to look at it, get the information quickly to see if it's worth spending time on or not, and if not, move on. Yeah, I did actually. Client of mine, I think it might have been Vuyo actually. Vuyo Kazi, the guy just there. Was it you, Vuyo? Somebody mentioned it. And I looked at it and I thought, hey, that's not a bad idea. So yeah, I stuck with it. So I've added 100. That's the black line, yeah. Was you? Okay, thank you, Vuyo. Yeah, I'm saying it's not a bad idea, so I've stuck with it. So you've got the 50, 200, now the 100. The major ones are 50 and the 200, but the 100 is probably it's second behind it, so might as well have it on this. The magenta one is my own personal choice. It's a short-term one. Quite like it. Hey, finally, look at that DXY. That side popped down. There's a classic example of jumping around. It's good to see this because, it's all right for me to say it, but you're seeing it live. We're so busy people saying one thing and reaction's not the same thing. You actually see as it happens, they're jumping around. So then you've learned that for future reference.
Roger, can I ask a question?
Go for it, please do. Yeah, Gene, go for it.
I can't quite type it. So, if what do you react on if you have a big announcement coming out now? In this case, there's no information on the calendar, on the economic calendar. But if there were, in the case of like a CPI or something, and and the announcement is lower or higher than what it was expected to be, do you react on that information, or do you react?
No. What happens when it's released? This is very important, guys. What happens when it's released? It's the way that information is interpreted with the institutional money. What do I mean by that? It's a great film, Eugene. Right. Let's go and see it. Great film. Now, Eugene is far more important than me because he's a film critic. And he comes out and he talks a load of old hogwash. So I bought the film, I thought it was great, and he thought it was hogwash. Not listen to me, then listen to Eugene, the star critic, and the bottom will fall out of people going to see that film. You get the idea. So whether I think it's good or not, it's the interpretation of the big boys, the institutional money. And it can often be different to what you expect because they're looking at other aspects it could affect. So after it's released, you wait till the dust has settled. How long is that? How long is a piece of string? It might be 5 or 10 minutes, it might be half an hour, it might be slightly longer. But wait for the dust to settle. What we mentioned earlier on, I don't know if you hear, Eugene, where we can do, before the announcement is made, is a buy stop, sell stop. Now, the thing is, you've got to work out how far above and below the mark you want to put your pending orders in. But that's when a specific data is coming out. 2:30 this afternoon, the GDP figure will be released, and it will be either above or below that figure. And that's finishing part, it's that figure. And if the market reacts positively, it'll jump up. If it marks negatively, it'll jump down. So if your sell stop will be kicked in, or your buy stop will be kicked in, depending which way it reacts to. This is different. He is speaking now. As he speaks, different forms of information will come out, and he'll report the facts. And then it depends how the market reacts to it. You're saying, yeah, we've got some good news. Yeah. But however, we can't start because there's still stuff to be sorted out. Oh, no. Oh, bang, it goes down again. You get the idea. So you can't do a buy stop, sell stop when the guy's speaking, only when a specific data release comes out. Does that make sense? Hope you're still there, because this is important. You still there?
Sorry, I'm speaking my heart out, Chair. Unmuted. I muted. Yeah, I understand. Thanks. That's what I thought.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, because now we've got waiting lists. Because you mentioned you don't mind me up, but you may be looking down if you get enough money, do it full time, etc. Now, one of the problems with this job, you might laugh what I'm about to say, is it's fun. Now, that's not a good thing. That's a bad thing. Soon as something becomes fun, you become more emotionally involved and the discipline goes out. I would say, a Sunday golfer compared to a pro, they have a very different approach to the game. On holiday, why not? We're on holiday. So you end up going over budget because the emotion thing, you're having fun. So one of the two bad things with trading is it's fun, and I hate to say it can be quite addictive. Once it becomes addictive, then your emotions take over. So that's very, very important. Obviously, you need to have knowledge. You need to have the right equipment. Clearly, that's not very expensive. A decent internet, preferably fiber, clearly, and a couple of bucks. Obviously, that's really commonsensical. The thing that is the tough part, which is the tough part in anything, is to work. And I know myself. I'm an emotional, and I'm certainly not the world's best discipline. It's taken me longer than most to get more discipline, which I've come now from practice. But the quicker, if you're naturally disciplined, you've got a streets ahead. You pick up the knowledge down the line. That's the stinker, is the discipline required. And I've seen some very tightly disciplined, highly intelligent people. When the fun starts coming in and they have a good run and quick money comes in, the emotion takes over. They start overexposing, go too big, then they can't handle goes against. So they remove the stop loss or modify away from entry and all those things. And all the good stuff comes back and goes and take away again. This will come and test your discipline more and your emotional control more than just about anything going. But if you can conquer that and you're disciplined to do that, I tell you what does this offer? Doesn't matter if the world's going up or down. If you're having problems around the world, you sell short. Do you want to live in Timbuktu? As long as you've got an internet connection, no problem. If you want to live in the North Pole, they've got internet up there, but if you have, you can go there. Doesn't matter. It's remote. You can do this when you're bedridden. It's no physical. You don't have to fix things where you need physical energy. As long as you're not gaga, you can do it. Do it till you're 100 years old if you want, and you're in total control. The benefits are unbelievable. I mean, it's the best job I've had. I came to it late. I used to the Merchant Navy. I was a navigating officer of the British Merchant Navy. They're falling apart now. They're too expensive, made redundant. What do you do now? In the 40s, what do you do now? And it's a bit of a struggle. But now, I wish we had this going when I was 20, 30. It was absolutely brilliant. But without doubt, for me personally, it might be easy for them. But my biggest, most difficult journey of all is controlling those emotions and the discipline. And for goodness sake, always remember there's no such thing as a free lunch. If you put in nothing, expect a lot out, you're gonna miss out. There's too many people jumping on the bandwagon here. They're not just in the vehicle, they're in the end result. Think here's a way to put squat in, get a lot out. Buy a lottery ticket. You might win a lottery. But on this, what you put in, you get out. And it's like most things, a lot of times there's a bit of grind involved. But after a while, it comes practice. And you'll get to the stage where you can look at something like this, have a look at the economic calendar, nothing coming up in Canada, CHF, that's fine. What have we got here? On the daily, clear the sell zone, it's meandering along. I quite like the CHF as a stronger one, but it's so oversold at the moment. A Canadian might pick up strength at the moment, but not strong enough yet to buy it. A lot of indecision, bang, bang. As I'm talking, I've already seen that. Wasting the time, move on to the next one. Get the idea. With a bit of practice set up, you can see whether it's worth spending time on or not. But that'll take a bit of practice, like anything. You're a better driver than me. Well, that's why you're a Formula One guy. You know what I mean? Not a guy just passed his driving test. So the natural thing is, I want to put a little bit in. I don't want to go through the old boring old grind. I'm not dismissing having a bit of fun and make a quick buck and blah, blah, blah. Those guys usually end up, unfortunately, paying the guys who made the money. It's a zero-sum game. So if you've lost 10, somebody else has made it. So you try doing the boring old discipline stuff, you'll be guys made it. I'm sorry to spoil that bit of a fun bubble, but if you can get that, it'll become habit, muscle memory after a while. And then you can say, right, I'm ready to rock and roll. Because a lot of guys say, I want to give him a job up. I just made a quick buck the last couple of weeks and just started. What the hell? Who needs work? And crap from a boss and I can do this. No, it doesn't work there. You've got to give yourself a track record, get in charge of it, discipline yourself, and then you're ready to rock and roll. I wish accent on more money you need than can actually work out. The reason is because you want to take the stress away. I mean, I've seen many guys far less than I mentioned the other day to you, making a good living out of it. But I'd rather not say, oh, you only need 50 grand or 100 grand, and then you're under stress. So I'd rather say you need 500,000 or 1 million, and then if you get better, well, what a pleasure. You know what I'm saying? If you can make 10 grand a month and you make 20, you're happy. If I say you can make 10 grand a month, you make 5, you're not very happy. So you get what I'm saying? Rather overproduce and undersell rather than oversell and underproduce, which unfortunately in the sales life, most people do that. They overpromise and underdeliver. Rather sort of do it the other way around. That's why, you know, when the guy does actually eventually do it full time, he's not going to suddenly go into a stressful jumping off the Eiffel Tower situation. Hope that all makes sense. Yeah, you've got to be passionate about it, but you've got to be disciplined. The point is, you've got to enjoy it. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You watch the sports guys, they wouldn't be so good by putting the hard yards in and practicing and doing all the work without enjoying it. Of course they do. But at the same time, you've got to be disciplined at it. Oh, this looks like fun. I'm going to have a bash of that. You need a bit more to it than that. If it was as easy as that, believe me, we'd have no one unemployed on the planet. Everyone would be nicely breaking it in, as you know. In other words, common sense is another one. I'm just going to think a little bit. Because to me, it worries me, especially the lower educational areas where they're more desperate. is they're very inclined to buy the something for nothing sales pitch. No, there's something in it, usually not for you, the guy selling it. I'm trying to get the idea for you to get something out of it. You know, see all the time Instagram and YouTube, etc. I'll give you an example. I'm a salesman now. I'm going to sell you. Yeah, it's a lot of effort, a lot of discipline, a lot of work put in. Don't expect to do too well for the first 3, 4, 6 months or something like that. And then after that, hopefully, if you're breaking even, doing okay, maybe another few months, and then you might need about 50, 80 grand or something. I wouldn't be able to sell a product. You wouldn't buy it off me. No, you buy a dream. Not just this, everything. People buy something nothing dream. Once you got it, overcome that, use the common sense, now roll your sleeves up and do the thing properly. Because I see it a lot. And I've just come up with 20 grand and I'm sick of my job. I want 50 grand a month. I want to do this full time. And I think, beat me up, Scotty. You know, if you can make 250% a month on a consistent basis, you'll be a trillionaire, never mind a billionaire in the next few years. Now you've got to just basically, as I say, discipline to do it properly. And that's the difference between a golfer who becomes a champion and the guys who fall by the wayside. That's correct, yeah. It's all right for Elon Musk, he's got this money. It's all right for Gates or these guys, all the money they got. Serena Williams, Federer, all these guys, Tiger Woods. You wouldn't believe the kind of discipline and work they put in. I know more about golf. The guys, the top golfers, they don't go and they just won the championship, go and piss it up and go and jump up and down. They're just saying, I made a couple of mistakes there. They'll do that. They've got a discipline there. They've got to go through the interviews and all that. Discipline. If you just knock that ball in, you won. All you want to do is get out of there. No? You've got to do all those interviews. It might be 2 o'clock in the morning you finish, etc. And then you'll still be up early, get the right food down you. Maybe just add a couple of things in the practice range. You saw a couple of glitches even the day before. You know, and then you remember your diet. You've got to have a lettuce sleep. None of this. Hey, God, I want that. Let's go and get the 19th hole and get stuck in. Unfortunately, that's what the amateur does, but they don't become champions. You know what I mean? No, right. Good question, Brady. Now that's an excellent question. Rule number 1: the stop loss is not a thumbs up. All right. We're on the daily here. We're going to buy Brent right now. So we're going to put the stop. Let's put it tight down here and double up the size. You're going to get stopped out. You're wasting your time. So we're going to put the stop. Anywhere outside the range. If you want a longer term, you put it below these guys. Shorter term, you put it below those guys. Right. That's $3. Then you check to see, is it worth it? That's $5. Not really. Going to maybe aim for that. Okay. Then you might get a risk rewards worth it. So let's say the stop is now in the right place. If you put it there, it's not right, down there. So now it's $3.22, I know. Call it $3. So $3 is your stop loss. Okay. Now you've got to think, if I put the stop here, I can double up. No, because you're still going to risk the same amount. Here you might say, I'm going to go with 5 lots. Here with the type, you might go for 10 lots to try to stop. You're still going to lose because the noise will knock you out. In other words, you're in the 4th floor. If you put the stop loss in the 4th floor, the light might not. Again, it's an area of smoke and mirror a lot of the time. It might not, but you likely can get stopped out. So you've got to put it. You're in the 4th floor and you're going along below the floor on the 4th floor. Below that, maybe I don't know, a few meters below the ceiling on the 3rd floor. You get the idea. So now, does that make sense? I'm not putting that in. Hope that makes sense. There's a reason where it's going. So yeah, the only thing that will change is if you're going for a shorter term, you put the stop there. If you're on a longer term, you may be aiming up here for whatever reason you think it's going to get there. Then you put your stop further away, which means your position size will be smaller. But it's not say, I'll reduce the stop loss, go bigger, then the likelihood you're going to get stopped out. The stop loss is there to say if it's in the floor down, we've gone outside the 4th floor range, we got it wrong, let's be out of this trade. If you put it too tight in the 4th floor, the noise will knock you out. If the trade was right to go along, you're not on board and took the loss of the winning trade. Does that make sense? That's fulfilling good stuff. Thank you. Hope that makes sense. A good question. That hope we all got that. Let's go to the NASDAQ. We do that as always. Yeah, it seemed to be pretty similar on opening as it was just before, because Powell's speaking, just jumping around anyway. The guys come to the desk, and even come to the desk, and all of a sudden you jump in on this. So who's buying and selling? There's always going to be guys getting in because they couldn't get in because the market wasn't open for the spot traders at +4, and guys who want to get out. So they'll have a little bit of jumping, whatever. But otherwise, unless you're a high-speed trader, the computer's doing it for you anyway. Most of them will be sitting it out and waiting to see what he comes out with to get a direction. Okay. So let's have a look, see how the shares are opened up at. We've got F-stop out. Look at the stuff. Oh, yeah, there's it stuck. Nope, 1632. Always good to have the time on there to see if it's stuck or not. No, it's not. So it's not much happening there. We looked at a couple of others to maybe have a chance maybe today, but not with Powell speaker, not keen. Jumped a little bit, doesn't tell you anything really. Let's just jump down to Microsoft. That's just I jump up, thought that might happen. Meta, we thought was possible, sure, get a decent area to go in on. Keep an eye on that. We might get a short there when things are settled down for come down. So potential of Meta getting in. Google we looked at. Potential. What's it? Open it. It's jumped a bit. Leave it. Could jump back up again. So leave the shares alone. If you're in it, stop. Keep an eye on the shares. Okay. Yeah, Jacob, but I wouldn't do it now. Unless you just joined, why would you want to do it now? If you just joined now, you probably understand what I'm talking about. If you've been here for the full since 4 o'clock, you certainly wouldn't be going in now. I think unless people have said if my sound wasn't working, so I think it's your side there, which you probably can't tell them. Starting to tell you that because you can't hear me. So if your sound's not working, it's your side. But I don't know if you joined in earlier on, Jacob, but yeah, we're moving along on this at the moment. I don't know what he's saying. If you've been listening to Bloomberg and you're getting some sort of big information that I'm not getting, maybe you can do it, but can't otherwise. Any question I was saying that, would you want to go in right in the middle of his speech? We have not got a direction yet. Hope this is clear because it's the whole point. Otherwise, you know, you're not learning from this. You've got to make use of this. If you're new, opening stuff up. Just remember, if you're new to this, it's not a class. You do a couple, and that's the end of that. This is ongoing. Ask Barney and some of the others. They've been trading for a while. They come in. Anna Marie, Brady have been coming in for a while, and hopefully they're picking stuff up each time, as well as trading ideas which we discussed, which like moral support in the forum. Yeah, so don't think I'll do a quick one of these and now I'll go trading. You know, it's got to pick it up takes time. Even a professional, the minute you got your medical degree, you're still learning. You've got to keep up. If you're a lawyer and you've been doing it for a few years and you take 5 years off, go back, you're going to battle because you've got to keep up to date what's going on. Things change. I can't get in here. I don't know why it's struggling. Oh, good stuff. Yeah, you're right there. Okay, so well, I'll put out, guys. Jacob wants to go along on the S&P 500 now. What do you guys think of that? Anyone want to join him on that? Hovering. It's just hovering a little bit, actually. No, it's not hovering at all. It's on the day chart. Jumping around for the speech. Okay. Looks like, what's the dollar doing? Maybe the dollar recovering a bit. That seems to be, no, it's coming off the wrong way around. Sorry. That goes up, the dollar coming off a bit. So, well, I don't know. Maybe saying that it's looking pretty good on the Western Front. So they're interpreting that there might be a bit of a reduction in interest rate increases down the line with the next FOMC meeting, Federal Open Market Committee meeting, FOMC meeting, and that might give a bit of a bolster. But he might turn around and say, okay, but hang on a minute, there's a couple of other problems on the Western Front we have to look at, and then the thing might come off. Like I say, wait till the Q&A is over. I can't put any more straightforward than that. I know you're all desperate to want to trade, you come in to take time, but rather do some learning and ask some questions and rather get value from knowledge in the meantime, rather than go and gamble your money with the costs involved. And then just then you're going to be a bit fed up if it doesn't work out for you. That's what I reckon. Yeah, that's basically what I think from it, yeah. Like load shedding hovering. Be honest, Pete, I think you haven't been that long. I think you get the hang of this. Some of the stuff we come out with, this guy, he's getting the hang of it. You make the old start mistake, trust me, years later, I still do. Don't blame yourself on that. So you will blame yourself, but you can't know that and get it wrong way around or something. Still do. But yeah, you get the hang of it. If you retain your sense of humor, you definitely get the hang of it. I should tell you, it can be fun if you get two people in the family trading and you have sort of like a personal competition. That could be quite fun. Denali is going to be on force. So yeah. In the meantime, we're jumping around. Let's see the NAS. Let's look at the F stop again. Let's look at the F stop again. Where's EF got up a little bit? Okay, well, no surprise there. Look what's happened to the NAS, etc. Or the market, etc. AUD CHF, nothing happening there. Okay, so we're still going to hang around on that. So okay, right. So some of the guys there have not been able to open for my laptop, and it does the same problem. Well, pretty. Any of you fundies there on IT or software or anything like that? Any computer fundies there? For some reasons you can't load f-stop in a laptop. Don't know why. If the f-stop, don't forget. I'm not telling you, you should probably know this. Put an f-stop there, press enter. Didn't come up. I don't know why. No idea why. If it didn't on my side, then I would say fair enough. But it's working here. So to be honest, I don't know. Maybe somebody out there is pretty jacked up on IT who maybe can assist you. Even unmute if you like. Wait for trades, help people out, these sort of things. You guys just joined, you think any strategy you want to look at, anything you want to ask? You know, we talk, what I can do in the meantime, as long as we're doing that. Here's Mark Shear, he's an IT guy, he might be able to help you out. Talk to the devil, here he comes. Amber, he's the guy to speak to. I was doing that, just a second. Oh, right. Yeah, F stop. You put in forward or F without the stop. Yeah, you're going to put the full stop. Just going to put the economic calendar as well. That's the dollar index I just copied and pasted there. So if you haven't got that, guys, very important you have it. You need to know what's happening in the economic calendar and what's happening with the dollar index. Okay, I'll leave the other one to later on. I don't know you'll confuse you. But those two are important. Save them, keep them in your browser and minimize when you're trading. It's nice to keep an eye and remember what economic calendar is coming up so you don't want to jump in just before a big announcement. And keep an eye on the dollar index. Clearly, that's important, obviously. Mentioned before while we're waiting, I'll do it again. So you want to check out any information on it, you left click, you right click, you go to specifications, and that gives you information of the properties on that specific instrument. It tells the contract size, you've got to worry about there. It's a 3 pip spread. All the spreads are in points, 10 points a pip. Don't worry about the points, we'll get pips, you divide by 10. So it's 3.5 pip spread. If you don't like the spread, well, not sure to do about that. The deposit or margin there, leverage, divide that into 100, gets you leverage, etc. So information is there. So yeah, if you don't know what it means, you can work it out, or one of the classes should go through it with you. That's the stuff which the stock market college class should do with you. There's no good spending a fortune on not fortune, but good money on stock market college education and come to the trading room learning there, which is free. No, this is where the training is done by SMC. This is when you put it together, make use of it practically in the trading room. Okay, just so you know. So yeah, all got the position size calculator. If you don't have it, you must have it. This is a life or death to your account. Please exaggerate, but no, I'm not. It's true. So you need to have a position size calculator, but not, repeat, not for shares. That's an Excel spreadsheet you get in the LMS or wherever. This is for only everything but shares, and then you need that to work out your volume. Okay, get it from your chat tech support. You need that. Okay, so we're clear on that. You've got your DXY dollar index, you've got your economic calendar, you've got your charts set up. You know how to add to your watch list now. You've got the position size calculator, now to get specifications, see contract size. You all know about leverage and the pros and cons. Most of that's the basic stuff you need to know before you start trading, how to operate the platform, obviously. You get signals. Oh, yes, the other one. All right, put that down here. Just a second while I write in. Most of you know this already. I get excited, particularly you. Just doing this in the meantime. All right, yeah. Right, that's my WhatsApp details, trading support. A couple of things I want to go through here. New guys, old guys, sorry guys. Interrupt and go into a trade or something if I take precedence. Just filling the time here for new guys. Right, I've got a WhatsApp QT group. You need 2,500 Rand to become a member. It doesn't cost you that. That's your balance. It doesn't cost you anything. It's free. The reason why I need minimum 2.5, couple of reasons. Just take this seriously. People are putting sort of minuscule amounts of money in, and it's coming up and bites them. It's not giving themselves a chance. Number two, you're going to get quite a few signals, not the moment, clearly, but often you get quite a few. You will not be able to cope with the signal on the ground. So even 2.5 is fairly small, to be honest. At least the start. If you've got 2.5, you'll be a member of that group. Tell me, and then I'll upload you to it, and you'll get, say, daily economic updates, points of interest, and more of the points signals sent to you. Okay. Don't if you haven't got 2.5. You can still WhatsApp me if you like and say I'm going to deposit in 3 days' time or something that's fine. But don't WhatsApp and say I've only got 200. Please upload me. I'll deposit next year. That's not going to cut it. You know what I mean? So it's trying here to get people to want to do it properly. They've got to have the funds. They've got to have the acumen. They've got to have the knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Acumen knowledge. They've got to have the equipment. Doing it half-heartedly, where you're cutting back on all of them, just means you're going to pay somebody else with your money. It's a zero-sum game. The time you lose a buck, somebody else has made it. They've probably done the legwork for you, but you didn't. So, yeah, there you got it. If you do have a minimum balance or above, you've got more, obviously, that's fantastic. But WhatsApp me, and please don't say, hi, I'd like to join your group. I'm going to say, who wants to join my group? You say, this is John Smith, real account number 123456. I've got £4 my account, and I would like to be a member of my group, if you would please. Fantastic. Just check it out quickly. Put the number in. That's great. Send you my WhatsApp, my contact details, etc. And yeah, and I'll upload you. And those who've been a member of the group, I've seemed to find okay. I don't see many people leaving it, put it that way. So yeah. And I think you'll definitely feel a benefit. The trading room and being a member, you'll definitely benefit. I know that, not saying other reason, I know for a fact, because guys that are neither are battling. I know that. And people like Eugene and that, this is ongoing. So even if you get the knowledge and you're doing it full time, you got that, it'll be part of your job is to go to the Zoom trade and get updates. And it's like a forum, it's a company. You can get a bit lonely out there, you know. So it's ongoing. And then you're doing it and say, hey, Roger, I think you missed this. It just come up. Something happened in China. I think you should immediately go to the, I don't know, the dollar yen or something. Well, no, that's Japan, but you know what I mean. And have a look at that. Oh, yes, you're right. Thanks very much. This is how we work it. We work as a team, but obviously you got to know the story before we can add value. This is where you learn. Okay. Yeah, you see a cell just jumping around, power speeding at it. It's only because it's come off. This is a 15-minute chart. 15 minutes ago, you saw a buy, stop loss TP. You know what I mean? Look at that. It's only a 15-minute chart. But that being said, Annie, I agree with you. I see downside. I know he hadn't finished speaking yet, but I'm telling you right now, whatever he says, there's major issues. Remember, I've told you many times about there's major issues out there. So I don't care how much fiddling or Machiavellian manipulation gets up to. The debt out there is absolutely, again, at this stage, untenable. So yeah, it might have a nice little jump in the meantime. It won't last. It'll come off again. So if you're going to go for it, rather go short. Rather prudency wise, I think you should wait till he finishes. But if you're high risk, you're aware of that, then you want to get in now. It's better maybe getting a 3.38 or something like that, because that's the prudent conservative way. But yeah, and he's been speaking now for 50 minutes, and I haven't seen anything drastic happening. Have you? Jumping around a pretty narrow range. Yes, the dollar's come off, but it's still above 103, and it's jumped up a little bit. Okay, so it's still hovering around. So I don't think this is coming up in a major. Remember, he doesn't like to spook the markets, guys. He's got to come out with the facts as he sees them, and I do believe that political. A lot of respect for him, actually. I mean, what's the private Janet Yellen? I respect for intelligence, etc., but she was too partisan for my liking. You need to be objective. Don't say I'm Democrat or Republican or partisan. No, you got to be objective. But ANC or DA, objective. It's about economics, you know. Respect him on that basis, and he's going to be backing up for the last couple of years on it. So yeah, I think so. Yeah, if you really want to do it, it's a bit risky, but that's only for Henny, by the way. We're on the daily. We can get a stop up here. Yeah, I think stick to 100 stop. So make the stop just above 100. Make it 4,000 stop. Where can we take it down to? Probably 3.7 or something. Take it down to remember, you always modify your TP as well as your SL, don't forget. That's not going to work. Make it a bit tighter then. Bring the stop down there. That'll do, yeah. If you want to do it, still 165, but jumps around so much. You don't want to tighten stop. There's a Grady, like I mentioned. The last thing will get stopped out, lose 50 bucks, and it goes on when he could have made 200. That makes sense. Got someone just joining now called the trading room. That's interesting. Look, you might come right. I'm not recommending to trade, guys, not at all. But if you're going to do it, I'd rather do short than long at this stage. But if you want to do it, there's some figures. That is high risk, That is definitely not conservative. That's your choice. Ain't going down, not writing it down. I had an instant the other day where a guy said that, I think, on the gold. They reported out, sent out to a lot of people who weren't aware of it, jumped in. Luckily, thank goodness it came right, but it might not have done. So I wanted you to be aware of that. This is for a trading room guy on a request by Henry Fitzgerald. It's not a trading idea that I've come off that I strongly suggest you jump in on. So I just see trading room come in, and what that is, it's an interesting name, trading room. Trading room join the trading room. Maybe it's Tuzo. Maybe if it's Tuzo, welcome Tuzo. If you got through, I know you're back and trying to join. You haven't missed much. It's jumping around a bit. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, no. I've only been successful in joining now.
Oh, is that Tuzo?
Yes, that's me.
Ah, great. Yeah, I guessed that. I get. For once, 1 and 1 did make 2. Okay, Tuzo, fantastic. You made it. I knew you'd work it out. I'm going to be upfront with you. Mark will laugh and know this. He's the IT expert. I'm not an IT guy. I know it's free. You register, go to the website, bang in Zoom, and I promise you, if I can fathom it out, you guys can, because I'm a bit sick on IT. So yeah, so you made it. Well done. We're just discussing Jerome Powell. He's the chairman of the Fed. He's speaking since 4 o'clock, so the market's jumping around a bit. So we haven't got any big trades going out. So we're just doing discussing of stuff. So you will need to go on an ongoing basis. I think you can join earlier on, but I've posted the dollar index link, and I'll do it again as you join. Some of you guys are coming in with a quiet moment here. This is the economic calendar, Tuzo. I want you to copy and paste it and keep it handy when you're trading. You don't want to be jumping in to an economic fundamental that could screw up your trade. Something's coming out that's big on the US particularly. It could be a pound, Swiss franc, I don't know, anything comes out in 5 minutes time, you go in. It'll shoot up or shoot down if it's not what's expected. So keep an eye on the economic fundamental calendar, very important. And this is also important, the dollar index. The dollar index is vital because it's about the dollar. Okay, because it's a rich nation, in my opinion, no, it ain't. It's a broke nation, in my opinion. But it's a debt. Debt doesn't make you rich, but people seem to think it does. So in theory, it's actually a broke nation. But anyway, it's called a rich nation because it's got so much credit and can't let it fail, and they just throw more credit at it and it prints more money. Bottom line is US dollar we follow, and it affects affects all of that stuff. So keep an eye on those two. Copy, paste, save it in your browser, and when you open up your laptop, minimize it to keep an eye on it. Okay. I've got 2 screens down the line. If you're doing it and you maybe do it full time or whatever, it's nice to have 2 screens. And I'll have, let's say, the dollar index or the whatever other stuff there on my one screen and my charts on the other one, so I can swivel my head back and forth and see what's going on. Okay, so that's basically what we've been talking about. Tuzo, and welcome. It's not a class; it's a forum, and it's ongoing. You will not learn how to trade in one class. That's impossible. I don't care if you're the greatest genius the world's ever seen. Maybe unless you're from the Andromeda Galaxy, maybe you can then. An alien from the Andromeda Galaxy, maybe. If you're a human being from planet Earth, it's going to take a bit of an ongoing discipline where you come to as many as you can, pick stuff up. I pick up, and for quite a while, I pick up stuff from guys as well. I didn't know that. Thanks very much. And we add to it. In fact, one of the newer guys, Vio, said, what about the 100? Maybe we should use it. If in fact, I thought, why not? Always learn humility. Never mind, he's been doing it 5 minutes. I'm doing it 50 years, which I haven't, but you know what I mean? You can always learn for whoever. That's not a bad idea, and I've stuck with it. So I've got, I'm not that off, by the way. I've got the 100 on now. When you get your chart set up, guys, try and uncomplicate it. Don't have it, unless you've been trading a long time and you're happy with indicators. If you're starting, don't have it full indicators. They are lagging the price action. They're telling you what's happening after it's happened. They're telling you it's raining when clearly all you do is look up the sky and see you're already drenched. It already had started raining. It's the price action is this price up here. That leads it. The spread is the market maker spread, and that's their little bit of profit or costs or whatever they call it. Commission, I don't know, not commission, cost basically. Bid and sell, bid and ask, buy and sell price. Okay, so have it set up and then save it. You see, when you've got that kind of Tom, you can get the best lawyers to drown you in paperwork and look up any bloody thing you want to keep you out. That's why you're a big enough shot. You'll spend millions doing it, but better than going to jail because you can afford it. Put off. As what did America once say? If you can't afford, the court will assign a lawyer to you, and they say that's the quickest way to go to jail. Fresh out of law school, haven't got a clue. The guy can afford a $2,000 an hour lawyer. Eat that guy up for breakfast. Forget Hollywood. It happens once in a while. Everyone likes that. The small guy winning. Reality, it doesn't happen that way. Maybe I'm being a bit cynical there. They might know. Okay, where are we? Yeah, yeah. So have your charts set up, save them. If you like the chart set up, just go to properties. Don't forget, set it up as you like, and then okay it and save it. So you need to know that sort of thing. Right. Anything I can go over in the meantime? I think he's still speaking. It's calming down a bit. Anyone there going on to Bloomberg? See if he's still speaking. He should be. If he stopped and I finished the Q&A, we can start looking at trades. $15 million bars in for 20 years. Believe me, unless he comes and has a plastic surgeon and changes ID, he's not going to get anywhere near this business ever again. He knows that. 15 million rands a drop in the bloody ocean. I'll tell you what, I'm going to screw you guys for 250 million rand, and I promise I won't trade again, and I'll pay a 50 million rand fine. Sound like a pretty good deal to me. They can absolutely cause havoc, Mark. Yeah. Thank you, Robert. You're a star. Because I'm doing this, I can't see it. And I like humans, even women are not multitaskers, despite what they say they are. I can't watch Bloomberg and do this if possible. So thanks for keeping up to date there, Robert. Brilliant. And quite rightly, Mark, that can be really cause havoc. Because remember, those guys trying to bit a lot of them, they don't want to trip him up, because they can trip him up. They'll get promotion in the company. We're all selfish in that way. Never mind the world's economy. I've got a massive promotion. So they're not necessarily on his side. Maybe I'm being cynical again, but you know what I mean. Okay. So thanks. Keep me updated there, Robert. Brilliant. Okay, so yeah. So anything else you want to ask, Mark, or anybody else? Tuesday just joined, you're not sure about. Just ask me some questions. We can do that in the meantime. Because unless you're really, really, really extremely aggressive, be careful of jumping in. Having said that, as f-stop, I still see the sell on that, by the way, whatever that means. Still see the sell on that. Yeah, it's come off a bit. Really, that's come off. So that backs my point up. So I still see the sell on f-stop with $1. If anybody not an f-stop want to enter it, then I can do it for you. That we can do. Got a guy come trying to get in call saying, I love the NASDAQ. Hope he's very wealthy, not very in the poorhouse. Anyone want to do who's not in f-stop wants to go in it? Here's a sell for you. I quite like this. Okay, right. I'll do this for you. Just a second. Do $1. I'll do the one we had down here. Just give me a second. F-stop. You can go to market and EP will call it. I'll put 1270, but you can go now if you want, because that's the way we got in that. SL, where is it now? 1370. TP, I think it's 1095, if I remember rightly. 5. The costs are very minimal, so just make life easier. Risk is $1. What's it about? 17 rand, eh? 17 rand per 1.0, not 0.01. What I mean by that, I showed you specification. Let's go to this Forex pair. What is the contract size? 100,000. Right, let's go to f-stop. What's the contract size? 1. Slight differential. Hey, so you got 0.01. If it hits the TP, you can put a down payment on a box of matches. You get my point. So don't forget, you're so used to putting 0.02 and 0.5, whatever you're doing, to put in 50 or 60 sort of stretches the psychological area. Break that comfort zone, work it out in a normal way. So if you can risk, let's say, 340 Rand, 73.40 is 20, you put in 20. If you can risk 680, let's say you can risk 700, maybe then you go for 41 or 42 or whatever. But don't forget, do not put in 1 or 2, you're wasting your time. That's your volume, because the contract is 1, not 100,000. So 1 in Forex is even very, very large. 1 in shares is pretty damn small, very small. In Ford's case, it's a minute. 0.01 is absolutely, excuse my language, F4. We've had a few of those and disappointing. The price is moving, my profit and loss is not moving because the price is so tiny. It's got to jump about 50 cents to see the PL move because the position size is like a Forex. Learn this stuff so you know the differences between the two. Okay. Like pulling teeth, Mike, yeah. Well, to be honest, a lot of stuff I've been pulling teeth in as well. That's why I didn't get a trade out just now. It's because of those reasons. Everyone's waiting for the big stuff coming out. Okay. And that's why it's been teeth pulling. Having said that, Anna Marie, don't forget Thursday, CPI, 3:30. Just remind, we'll discuss it in the morning session on Thursday if you want to do a buy-sell stop. You know what I mean? If you want to have another bash at that. If you did okay with the NAS, you might want to have another bash at that. Don't do it on this one. This is a Q&A. It's not a data release. Keep saying that, people not getting it. Or ask me questions. Oh, I've just said that. I want to make it absolutely clear. CPI is a data release, so you can put it in beforehand. If you want to have a discussion on it, the guys in the trading room on Thursday will do an update of it. This is where you put a buy stop above the market, a sell stop below the market. If CPI figures come out as good, bangs it up, you cancel it quickly. First thing you do, you delete your sell stop. If the opposite occurs, you delete your buy stop and then let it run modified in a normal way. And you did okay on that, Anne-Marie, last time. So let's see if we can do another one this time. If you don't want to talk about, you're unsure, or you haven't enough funds, or it was all gobbledygook to you, don't do it. It's no such thing as a quick buck. If you don't know, it comes back and bites. Okay. But as you can see, too, Zoe just joined. There's a few things we can learn in here. Hope it might be a bit overwhelming at first. But the idea is to whet your appetite to see we have quite a good family in here, and it can be quite fun. And there's some guys there haven't been trading that long. I'm going to embarrass poor old Peter Mayer again. He hasn't been trading that long, but to tell you what, he knows about 20, 50 times more than a lot of guys who've been trading a long time who haven't taken the trouble to go through the stuff and make the effort. So yeah, it won't take long if you come in here and ask questions, interact. I don't think you've been doing that long either, Anna Maria. You'll start to see some light at the end of the tunnel. So don't start getting scared. It's not a 5-year degree, you know. Thank you, Tom. I forgot about gold, yeah. Yeah. I've been bullish on gold and I haven't changed my mind. I want to get a decent price of gold. 65, I haven't made any secret of that. I didn't get there, been hovering around, so I'm still out of it. Do I want to buy it now? No, I don't. I think I might miss this thing. But buy it now, it's almost certainly, unless a fundamental change in the scenario, it's going to get technical TPs triggered at 1900. TP is a sell order, remember, and I think a lot of people can be taking profit there from the price down. So if you get in now, you're looking at a $22 profit. So you need, and that means you need your stop, can't be wider than, let's say, $15. That's what, 10, 15. See, your stop is a bit, to me, too tight. That's the problem. I want a better price, and it hasn't broken out the previous high. It might come back again. So I'm totally with you, and Tomby. Buys the name of the day on gold. It hasn't changed so far in the hour or so Powell's been doing his thing. So absolutely stick with buy the pullbacks, buy the retracement, but can't get a decent risk reward there. Either miss the trade or hope it pulls back. Don't try and chase it near the ceiling. People say, you know, buy at the top. Would you buy at the top? No. Why do people do it? Fear of missing out is the number one reason. So they chase it, and then the bigger boys are getting out near the ceiling, and then you're stuck with it as it comes off. So that's my idea. A lot of guys trade gold, and we've got what 30 people in the forum at the moment. A lot of guys trade gold. They might disagree. They might listen to what they got to say. Anybody see a buy or a sell here at this particular market entry? Anyone thinks not talking about egos here. If you think I'm wrong, I'm happy to hear it. I might learn. Anybody think, no, hang on, Roger, I think it's a good idea to enter, as long as there's a reason. Anybody want to go in at a market here as a buy? Clearly buy that. We take that as red and zombie. Anybody want to chase it now? Some experienced guys in here. Mark, that's incredibly difficult. I've done that recently, not in the last year or so, but about 3 years ago. We had JSE shares. I was in love with Discovery, and it turned out to come off, and I'm still buying it, and I lost a bit on it for that reason. Difficult. Like you said, you know, used to be the Canadian, the US, and the CHF were strong. Euro, Aussie, New Zealand in the middle. Was it? Yeah, no, GBP, Aussie, and the New Zealand in the middle, and the Euro and Japanese a sell zone. Completely change around now. So you're sorry, mate, like your IT, it changes quickly. Got to keep up with the times. Did I print it? I've talked so much, I forgot to do it for Anne-Marie. Did I put it down? I don't think I did. Did I not print it for you, Anne-Marie? Yes, I did. Yeah. Done before, talking so bloody much, forget to press the send button. I've told you about that. Why not? What did you say I told you? Oh God, I forgot to send it. Okay, so you've gone in there, that's fine, Pietro. Well, anyway, so we're up a few cents. We got on here in the room here at 70. It's up a few cents, that's okay. But yeah, Mark, it's another good point you made there. And that's not just for you, it's for everyone. It's difficult to say that. If you fall in love, don't marry the share. But I fall in love with her, I want to marry her. Well, well, slightly different, probably a pretty stupid example, actually. Completely different. But you know what I mean. Right, to say, actually, someone just said, don't marry it. It was a goodie. Sell it, maybe whenever it was. Now, this is very much now on the bullish side. What's to do with China buying it up, by the way? China's really buying up gold, the biggest buyer of the lot. There's a lot of worries going out there, so turn to gold. It retains its value. Fiat currencies do not. They depreciate, all of them do. I promise you the pound won't be worth the same 10 years as it is now. Even the stable ones do. Okay, remember that. Gold's the same price base it was about 100 years ago. It's the currency that's depreciated. Hope you all know that. Okay. It now needs, you know, $1,800 to buy it because the dollar's worth less, but it's still $30. Just needs more dollars to buy it, if you know what I mean. You have currencies and money, just as I'm waffling on here. Money is supposed to be like an asset where it retains the value. The currency depreciates. So if it costs you $1 million now to buy that particular, whatever it is, widget X, and it's 2 million in 10 years' time or 5 years' time, widget X hasn't really gone up much. It's the currency depreciated by 50% or whatever. So you need twice as much currency to buy the 100 rand widget. If you know what I'm saying. It's the depreciation of the currency, not so much the increase the other way around the asset. Your house, I hate to say it, is still 1 million rand. It's now 5 million rand because the currency depreciated by 80%. That doesn't got anything to do with Prince Harry. The good thing about Prince Harry, he keeps the gossip columns and all the gossip people, and keeps them going. It's all great fun, The news love it because that's what people watch. Not boring old $1 trillion money, debt, and that's boring. Now, Prince Harry, what's he up to next? I was met Joe said a couple of years ago, catch him in theaters, and everyone will know about it. $1 trillion debt goes up another $1 trillion. Nobody knows or cares. It's slightly improper. It's hovering. Slightly improper. It's hovering. Going at 77.10. You can pop up and down. It's not getting any direction. I don't really watch it that much. You probably know more about me, Mark. Don't really watch it much. I don't dislike it. Like I'm a bit really indifferent. So it's like football. Nothing wrong with great sport, I suppose. I don't really follow it. No reason not because it's bad. I just don't follow it much. I'm very nervous about Tesla. Very nervous. Rather sell the rally. Okay. What I worry about Tesla is emotion. I think you weren't in this afternoon, Mark. You weren't in this morning, sorry, Mark. The special interest group, the SWAN, the club. Used to call it the Broederbond in South Africa, or the Broederbond in America. It's a club. And Twitter guys, Dorsey, what's the other guy's name? They're part of that club. What's his name? Trump and Musk are definitely not. They're the usurpers. And they own the media, they own everything, these guys. They're an information source, etc. When you interfere with that club at your peril, and it's corrupt in and out, completely, totally, but they push the narrative, and they're doing stuff they don't want revealed. Unlike Harry, they don't want it revealed, you know what I mean? So he's doing that, and he's opening it up. And so they're sort of doing a hit on him. They're doing everything else in their power to shut that guy down. And their followers say, don't buy his cars, etc. And I told you that time, guys said, I'm not buying his car. He's a bloody fascist. I'm buying a Volkswagen. And you turn around and say, well, a Volkswagen, the people's wagon, the people's car. And Porsche obviously designed it, but the idea came up from Adolf Hitler. So I think, he might be slightly more to the right than Elon Musk, if you get my point. So it's more emotional ignorance and narrative bullying through the media sources, etc. So I personally think he's made a lot of enemies in the wrong place. Quite rightly, in my opinion, he's doing the right thing. I'm a great backer of it, but you don't underestimate that power. And as a result, I think not just the Twitter purchase, that's going to be an ongoing fight for him. And it's lashed into people saying, I'll buy another electric car or some other bloody thing, and boycotting all sorts. So I'd rather sell a rally on Tesla. Well, history on anything, Mark. History on anything. Most of it are emotional, marching down the street, protesting, built on myth, which should be sold rather than facts, unfortunately. Like Alexander Graham Bell. All right, put a lot of work in, but he didn't invent the telephone. It's an Italian guy. Can't pronounce his name, forget his name now. And Alexander Graham Bell pinched the idea. Not saying he wasn't working on it, he obviously knew quite a bit about it. This guy got there first. He pinched the idea, and the guy's going to sue him. Unfortunately, he died before he could put that legal area into action. So Bell got the acclaim, and everyone now, he became obviously very wealthy. Bell was the guy who invented the telephone. Well, he worked on it, but the Italian guy got there first. So even what's his name, Darwin, let's say another guy got there slightly first, but Darwin picked from the post as regards to getting it out there, if you like. So yeah, there's a lot of myths going out there, which is people get very emotionally involved with, which is not actually always based on facts. Well, Ford was what's his name? Henry Ford was an extreme anti-Semitic, extreme. We all know about Wagner, the composer, but he died before Hitler, by the way, although Hitler loved him. But Ford was an extreme anti-Semitic. That's correct, Anna Marie. Well, what about Hugo Boss? You know, the perfume and clothes, or whatever. You know, the all those guys. You know, like Yves Saint Laurent, Hugo Boss. You know, he's a Nazi. Really forgotten about. You want to buy the Cab CHF? This is Brady. Well, okay. If you want to buy the Cab CHF, let's have a look. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah, this is it. This exactly. I mean, you know, when they want to say against you, they say ultra right wing or hard right, like Marie Le Pen in France. She's not hard right at all. She's just basically centre. 20, 30 years ago, she'd been called centre. It's basically narrative. I mean, makes you laugh is the fact that Democrats are supposed to be like Labour in the UK, sort of the socialist kind of the working people, but all billionaires. If that's sort of contradiction, look at Bloomberg when he ran for president. I didn't get anywhere. Guy worth $60 billion running for the Democratic Party. It's about power. Not good, buddy. Helping the worker or racism or genderism, whatever buddyism you want to come up with. It's about whatever opium the masses, what Marx said about religion, whatever they can sell, it's highly emotional to get the narrative across, so you will succumb to their narrative. That's the bottom line. Horrible, but it's the way it is. A lot of stuff on it. It's not me making it up. It's a lot of stuff on that. We people are being played, I'm afraid. CAD CHF. I'm not keen. There's no follow through. I know instinct. I know Brady. A lot of guys say, "Oh, it's low. Look at this. Come all the way down there. Bound to be a bounce. Why not? It's come all the way down here. Bounce there. Okay. Bound to be a bounce. Well, no. Bound to be a bounce. Well, no. Bound to be. Well, no. You know what I'm saying? Until I get some sort of confirmed direction, yeah. Where am I going to get that direction from? It starts easing up to these sort of levels. I might change the tune. At the moment, as it goes up, the sellers are coming in. It goes up, the sellers are coming in. Sellers are coming in. Sellers are coming in. You're a braver man than I am, Gunga Din, if you want to go and buy that level. Yeah, well, yeah. What is it? It hasn't hit your stop loss yet. Don't panic. I can say it's wrong. He jumped about 20 pips, jumping around. You've been a bit unfair to yourselves there. You may give an hour or so, you might be quite right. That's why you would stop out of the way. Your stops at, what was it, 3.9 something or other, right up here somewhere. So don't panic. Might well be. I think it's stop us up here somewhere, isn't it? Yeah, somewhere up there. So you can't say you're wrong yet. I mean, I'm going to trade me down in here, and oh God, it's giving me jet, and then turn out to be a lovely winning trade. That's just noise at the moment. I won't panic yet. It's another thing to remember, guys. Yeah, when you see the PL in front of you, emotionally it hits you in the face. You see that red coming in. The up and down is the noise. You're $100 in profit. Make it 500 Rand in profit. You're feeling a pretty good mood. You should ship what's called not ship out, but rush out quickly to do the shopping. Come back, and in your mind you think there's 500. Then an hour later, it should be 600 up. And suddenly you find you're 50 Rand up. What's happened now? Now you think, what the hell's going on? You panic. You take it because it goes down to negative, and it's just a noise, and then it goes straight up again. That's another thing, guys. Careful of that noise. It captures the people emotionally, understandably. Very. Everybody can start if it didn't go to work on. So noise, you got your strategy, you got your stop loss, you got your TP. Modify your stop loss towards, not away. If you get stopped out, it's annoyed you, but it hasn't hurt you because you worked out your equity management and that trade has gone wrong. But in the meantime, the noise is going to be up and down all the time. Let's look at AUD Shepherd's 34, not so long ago. What's it now? About 70 or something, who knows? Jumping up and down. Well, it's 50, it's hovering, okay? But yeah, it's jumping up and down. It's down there earlier on. Who knows, yeah? If you start panicking every time you see the noise, well, I was wrong when you see it jump 10, 15 pips. drive yourself pretty quickly insane. Now, that's right, Pete. We discussed that before. I hope you've been slightly cured of that. Modify the stop, I have no problem, but give yourself a bit of room for the noise to, you know, the market to move. It's so tempting. I've got in at 63.90. You know, your stop loss is miles away. It's now here. Oh God, I'm gonna make sure I got the profit. I'll make it down 63.65. That's fantastic. Got profit growth. Knocks you out, comes off. The guys are still on board. It's 62.80. That's the TP. They move the TP down. It's still riding. Now they're 150 pips in profit, and you made 10 pips. Very tempting. Still do it myself. Not so much now, but I have done. But just be careful that you give some room to breathe. Otherwise, you find you're modifying too many times. You get little winners, losses. 8 trades are pretty good trades. One hits you, it's the wrong one, stops you out, and all those good guys are all wiped out. That's not a good idea. All right, let's have a look at the dollar first. The dollar is weakening a bit, so that might be an idea. Powell, I suppose, is still doing QA. So I'm feeling along, hitting my trend lines. Don't worry about trend lines. It's hovering. Let's go to the 1 hour. I'm still nervous of buying at the moment. The dollar hasn't surged ahead. It's come back to just about 103. If you're a decent profit, I don't like saying get out of it, Eugene. I like to say beware of it. It could come off from here. 132 holds, you might get some more upside. So why not modify your stop? I assume you're in a profit. Maybe 132, 80, 85, big 85. If it breaks the round figure, it might start coming off. Yeah, make it it's a little bit close to my liking, but better still. 131.85. And if it holds, bounce up. If not, hopefully you're stopped out in the profit. But yeah, the dollar is weakening a little bit as we speak. Hope that all made sense. Oh, you want to sell it now? Beg your pardon. No, wouldn't be. Yeah. Not comfort enough to sell it either. If you sell it, we're on the 1 hour chart. Let's go to the daily. Daily, put the stop up here. You seem to be holding that. Give you a due. It's over there. Give you a due on that. For 85 pips stop, take it down here. Yeah, you can take it down there. It's not a terrible trade. I'm not that keen, to be honest. Well, you'll get the idea what I'm on about soon. And the more quicker you get the idea, quicker you're more comfortable. But those are little machinations. You will pick up a bit of practice. But the trouble is the range of the last couple of days has been that range. So 20 pips, not bad. Right in the middle of the range. Sell it now. Stop up here. Make it 70 pips stop. We need about 110. 110, will we get it? Maybe down there. You might do, but no, sure. I don't know what Powell said. If it's ongoing dollar weakness, then you'd be right. But otherwise, I would just go and stand aside on that one. But just like I said earlier on, Eugene, you had a guy turn around who says, should I take profit on now? I'm not going to say, yeah, get out of it. Very occasionally, I might. Very strong resistance. Things are changing. I said, it might be a good idea. Most of the time, I say, just in case, modify your stop. So if you stopped out in a profit, it goes up and still on board. For me to say, get out now, if you're in, I know you're not in, get out now. Mark's here. I did that once, thing was on the Nikkei. Was it one of them? Was it? I can't remember any of it, one of them. No, it actually wasn't. I think it was on Netflix. It was on Netflix, actually. And I thought it's going up pretty hard. I'd probably start thinking maybe exiting. And the thing went up quite a bit more. And I thought, all right, Arsehole. Mark was good about it, but that was not a clever thing to do. So rather modify your stop. And if you're uncomfortable, take it. But I think I'd be a bit nervous to get out now. Get out now, yeah. And the thing comes, you know, go shooting up when you're not on board or whatever way you're going. If you see what I mean. I can take an overall view and a bit of experience. but whether it goes from 132 to 132.20 or 131.80, nobody in the world knows. Nobody knows. There's millions of people buying and selling this with different strategies, different amounts of money, different ideas, different emotions, different everything. That's impossible. That's once the market becomes predictable, remember, you don't have a market. Once you have somebody saying, I've got this robot that gives me 95% or 100%, he's a liar, because there's no ways you can have that because you don't have a market anymore. Number one. And number two, if I'm getting 100% right in the robot, what the hell am I sharing that with you? I'm certainly will need to charge you, I mean, sort of kind of a robot. You're a good friend of mine, Eugene. Yeah. Why should you buy it? I don't need your money. You've got 100% robot. You don't need your money. Always think. Someone's offering you something. What's in it for the other person? That's the best way. It's come to past. I'm sorry, disappointing. I thought we might squeeze something in. Let's stop, I suppose we did when on board. I'm just a bit nervous at the moment. He's still, as far as I'm told, hey, Robert, he's still there. I think he's still Q&A at the moment. I'm a bit nervous. I'm hoping by tomorrow we'll get direction and get some more signals out and get some action. But I hope we found some sort of value to you, even though we haven't got a trade out. Okay, I'm probably going to send one out. I won't be sending out tonight. I'm going to let this dust settle. It'd be a miracle if I do. And I'm quite an early sleeper. I get up early, but I really get early to bed. We'll say early to bed, early to rise. Poor, unhealthy, and stupid. Oh no, it doesn't rhyme. That can't work. Okay, guys, hope we get some action tomorrow. Okay, it happens like that. But hope you learned something of some value. Okay, nice to new guys, Tuesday, etc. Yeah, you'll pick it up as you go along, and then it'll start falling into place. You got the Zoom sorted out now. Let's progress on that. Okay, thanks for joining. Catch you tomorrow. Thanks. Thanks, Shifra. Okay, good. Shifra, quiet in the background. Good stuff. One of my great supporters. Great stuff. Thanks.